everyone, and welcome to Going Over Bet Pro Wrestling, the only wrestling betting tips podcast on the planet. I'm your host, Scotsman, and today we're going to be covering AEW Revolution. It takes place this Sunday, March 6, 2022. Pretty amazing show, I cannot wait for it. First of all, I hope you all followed my betting tips for Elimination Chamber. The official betting tips I went with over at betwwe.com, where I only had 2 betting tips after all. I didn't go with any winners or anything like that. And I just went with the both Elimination Chamber matches to go under, I think it was 33 minutes for the men, 30 minutes for the women. So I chose under on both of them, won both of them because WWE went with like 2-minute intervals between them. That was brilliant. I was celebrating, counting my money before the show was over. Then Brock Lesnar broke out his pod early just to add to it. That was great. Speaking of that pay-per-view, when I covered it on the podcast, I also tipped Cody not to wrestle at WrestleMania. That one was a decent price, plus something. I can't remember the exact price now. But that's looking pretty good so far. Cody's not on Raw yet, and you know, they've teased him a few times, but not showing up, and that could be another winner. So let's hope Cody stays off for a while. Okay, so let's turn our attention to AEW Revolution. Let's quickly talk how the betting works, just in case you're not sure. CM Punk, for example, is a heavy favourite at minus 250 over MJF, who's plus 225. What that means is, if you want to win $100 off CM Punk because he's minus 250, you'd have to bet $250. So 250 to win 100. Well, MJF is plus 225. What that means is if you bet $100 and you win $225 profit. So, you know, that's the favourite versus underdog type odds, and yeah, that's pretty much how betting works. So we're going to go over each match today, and we'll see what betting opportunities there is, and then my official betting tips will be posted on Friday, I believe, over at betwwe.com. Let's look right at it. We've got the main event for, well, I don't know what the main event is. It's Hangman versus Go, but the one I've got at the top of my list, the one I'm looking forward to the most, I think. Man, I'm looking forward to all of them the most, actually. Such a great card. Mox versus Danielson. This is an interesting one. Mox opened at a heavy favourite at minus 162. People are now betting on Danielson, and it's become a complete coin flip. Both wrestlers are minus 118, so that means $118 to win 100. They're both bettable. I'm leaning towards Mox very strongly. A lot of people are betting on Bryan Danielson, probably because of the odds that he was, he was plus 115. The thing is, they were going to go with Hangman versus Mox initially, it looked like, until Mox went into rehab. And you have to wonder if they're going to circle back to that. If you look at the history of AEW, that's kind of what their booking does. If something pops up that interrupts it, that's fine. They put it on hold, then they get there eventually. Look at Hangman with being off with his baby and all that stuff, right? So I'm strongly leaning towards Mox for this one. Obviously, Danielson wanting to be part of a team is something different, and then you also have to wonder, can they really do Mox as a heel, you know, just coming out of rehab and all that stuff, versus Hangman? I think so, because I don't think he has to go full heel like it looked like he was going to go. I think you just have 2 excellent guys in the ring, you know, and it's going to be awesome. So yeah, I'm strongly leaning towards betting Mox there. I will, of course, have my official betting tips up, betwwe.com on Friday, and we'll confirm there, but the odds might change, so I mean, minus 118 for Mox. I would advise slapping something on it right now. I like it. But I've got CM Punk minus 250 versus MJF plus 225. MJF did beat him twice, you know, so you have to wonder how that promo on Dynamite last week will affect things. You know, that was, wow, I was not expecting that at all. That was an amazing promo of the year. Got me so much more interested in the match. Common wrestling booking would have it all been a ploy by MJF. I don't know where they're going with that one. So, anyway, people are betting on CM Punk. He started at plus 175. He's now plus 225. So, when you look at that, you have to wonder, like, is that going to keep going? Is MJF going to become an even bigger underdog? In which case, is it going to be worth betting him? He's definitely someone I'm strongly considering betting at this point. I'm not 100% on it. We'll see how Dynamite goes this Wednesday. I'm recording this Tuesday, March 1st, just an FYI. I really want to see what the aftermath is of that promo and how things go with that. You know, if MJF revealed it was a big ploy or something on Dynamite, that would change things drastically. So, right now, leaning towards MJF, hoping more people bet CM Punk, and, you know, plus 225, not the worst price, I don't think. So, it's worth considering. We'll see how that one goes. Now we've got an interesting one. Eddie Kingston minus 278 versus Chris Jericho plus 190. When Jericho feuded with Orange Cassidy, he went in the opposite of the Cena push. You know, when Cena would, you guys would come in, like Kevin Owens, and Cena would lose to them the first time, and then he would win both the next two matches. Jericho did the opposite with Orange Cassidy. He won the first match and lost the next two. Wasn't the same with MJF though, but I do think plus 190, there's a good little chance Jericho wins this one. I feel like this feud is only really, you know, it's been a bit of a slow burn. It's just starting to get off. You can enhance this even further. You can get a Dynamite main event out of it and so on. I'm strongly leaning towards Chris Jericho at this point. I think he is worth a bet. I will have to look up his concerts schedule and so on, because if he's going off for a bit, then it might be worth, you know, him losing Eddie, but that hasn't really affected things before. So right now, I think Chris Jericho, very good underdog bet. We'll find out on Friday if I stick with that or not, but I like him. Ricky Starks minus 250 versus Dante Martin plus 175. I mean, I love Dante, I love Starks. Is there a thought of like Dante winning there? I don't hate it, but I really kind of see it. I think Ricky Starks still gets to win, and, you know, via nefarious means, and boom, he's still, you know. So yeah, I don't see Dante, but that's one I'll explore further. I haven't explored that one too much for the podcast, but I'm going to really dive into the data for that one. Then we've got Sting, Sammy, and Darby Allin minus 500 versus AHFO, which is, I believe, Andrade, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy. I mean, always bet on Sting and Darby is becoming a trope, kind of like always bet on Charlotte and always bet on The Miz. You have to wonder, could this lead to an Andrade TNT title feud with Sammy, though? It's, you know, it's possible. Andrade wins, sets that up. That is standard wrestling booking. But I don't see it. Sting, Darby, always bet on them. You know, to me, this is a no bet. I can't see me changing that opinion either. If AHF will maybe go higher on odds, sure, but I don't know. They just seem to be treading water at the moment. You know, it's one of those things that it's just like they're just fodder for people. So we'll see how it goes, but I cannot see me betting Andrade there. Like I said, the only reason to bet him is if you think they're going to go with him versus Sammy for the TNT title, and that sets it up. Then you've got the Face of the Revolution ladder match. Right now, there's not odds for everyone, because as I'm writing this, there's no. We don't know everyone that's in it yet. You can make a couple of bets. You can bet the Field minus 435 versus Keith Lee plus 275, or the Field minus 148 versus Wardlow plus 105. That's what that means is if you bet the Field versus Wardlow, you're betting anyone but Wardlow will win. And at minus 148, I like that. I know Wardlow's been given a strong push lately and so on, and maybe it does all climax here, but I don't know, you know, I don't know, with Wardlow, he's, you know, not too much progression, so on. He's kind of come out powerbombing. There's little hints with the MJF feud, but not too much. No, I think for this one, I really like Keith Lee's odds at plus 275. You know, Limitless is like, look at what happened in WWE with him, right? Like, they really want to make it, you know, they want to make a, like, take a stand. They want to show people, look, WWE completely ruined this guy. They messed him up. He's one of the most talented guys, and we're going to take advantage of him. So plus 275, I'm not hating Keith Lee in this one, I got to say. I think he's a good one to back, and I think it's worth betting him, because I think, you know, him versus Sammy seems like it makes sense, and yeah, I'll be done with that. So let's say I'll make my official bets Friday, bet WWE.com, but Sammy's probably, Keith Lee's probably a good little bet there. Okay, Jade Cargill minus 1250 versus Ty Conti plus 550. Are you really going to bet $1,250 on Jade Cargill to win, you know, just to win $100? Especially when she can't even kick out of a bloody pin. Like, you saw that in last week, right? Where, like, she didn't even lift her shoulder up and Aubrey had to stop the count. Oof. If that was, if they go with WWE rules, that's all over with. So, yeah, no betting there. Jade wins. I'm not going to risk $1,200, and I don't advise you should either. Right now, we don't know who's all in the tag team match. Jurassic Express are to retain. You can bet on that. Yes, -118. No, -118. I like Jurassic retaining. Doesn't feel like they've had it long. They've not had the big feuds and so on. They're over. They need, it's good to have Jungle Boy with a title belt and so on. I don't think there's much else for him. There's other tag teams, blah, blah, blah. We know what's happening with the Bucks and the Dragon feud. Looks like that's going that way. They could get a title involved for it. I don't think they will. So I'm saying Jurassic Express retain. That's a bet. I'm saying right now to make it -118 because the odds will change, I expect. And yeah, bet Jurassic Express. Thunder Rosa is -300 versus Britt Baker DMD. I mean, this match and a title change was predicted way back when Britt won the title. Like, everyone expected, even before she won the title, everyone knew that it was going to happen. It does feel it's time for a change. Her reign's been a bit blah, hasn't been that epic at all. The only thing I wonder is, I love Thunder Rosa, don't get me wrong, but she's got a lot of commitments to the independents. You have to wonder if that would affect things at all, like, if she's a champion, is she still going to be an independent? She's had some wins, losses there, it's no big deal. That would have to change if she's champion, But that's someone I'm definitely considering, but AEW usually do stick with their long-term plans. So it's probably one where, just for the sheer hell of it, I'll throw a bet on it, but I cannot advise it in any way. Finally, we've got Hangman Page -500 versus Adam Cole +300. Just can't see a Hangman losing, can we? That one's no bet at all. So that's basically it for me. I've covered them. The matches, a lot of interesting bets. Like I said, a lot of potential underdog bets to make, but not one I can actually advise. But you've got Jericho, who I kind of like, MJF, who I'm tempted by, and then you've got Moxley as well, because I could see them sticking with those plans, and you've got Keith Lee. So, AEW, it's going to be a hell of a show, that's for sure. Jurassic Express retaining, I like that one. So, a lot of bets. You can go to betwrestlingpodcast.com, and you will see links to sportsbooks such as Mr. Green and Bet Online. You can bet AEW Revolution at those sportsbooks right now, and Mr. Green actually do a whole bunch of prop bets, such as star ratings, Dave Meltzer star ratings, and they'll probably have a whole bunch of individual prop bets for the matches themselves. So have a look at them, see what there is. Friday, Saturday at the latest, but probably Friday, I'll be covering this pay-per-view with my official betting tips at betwwe.com. One of those will be Jurassic Express retaining, because I fully believe that is set in stone. The other ones, I'm not 100% sure about yet, but Friday I'll let you know, and I'll explore that Ricky Starks, Dante Martin one a little bit more in detail. Alright, that's it for me. Thanks for listening. Always bet on Charlotte. I'll explore further. I haven't explored that one too much for the podcast.